when people are desperate, you create the perfect ecosystem for hatred to thrive. You create the perfect society where division can breed. And we haven't done enough as a party to address that. And we haven't done enough as a party to say, I see you in places that feel unseen. We
Yeah.
haven't done enough to say, I have your back, whether you're working class or a person of color. Like, what have we really delivered for them?
Hmm.
And so I don't really blame people. I hate that Donald Trump was elected a second time on his third election. And I'll never understand people who voted for him for three times. But I do understand that how we got here is because we didn't do enough. A lot of people forget that at the same time that Franklin Delano Roosevelt was elected was the same time Hitler and Mussolini came to power. And
Hmm.
he knew if he didn't do something that showed that the government is supposed to work for the people and that comes through our economy and our dignity, then we're going to slip into fascism. We're going to become just like what's going on in Germany and Italy. That's why it's so important we did that. We had the power to do something in 2021 and 2022, and we didn't. We didn't codify Roe v. Wade. We didn't pass any of the semblance of like those social justice stuff we campaigned on in 2020. We
Hmm.
didn't tax the billionaires and bolster our funding for education and social services or our roads and our bridges. We didn't do anything that actually people could feel. We passed an infrastructure package where it took forever to build anything, and they called it a climate bill. But the only people who could actually benefit from that Climate and Inflation Reduction Act are the people who already had enough money.
Yeah.
82% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. We haven't done anything on that. And so, of course, when you have that, people aren't going to say, man, I wonder what's going on in the news today because they
Hmm.
don't feel seen. They don't
Yeah.
feel seen anymore. So do I blame them for falling for mailers like this? Absolutely not. And it's a failure. It is an absolute something the GOP should and the people who back them should be ashamed of, but it's also something that I consider a failure of our party, the Democrats, the people I voted for my entire life. You have to do something. You have to do something and you have to make it quick and reasonable and something that people can feel. And if we don't, tactics like this are going to work over and over again. But if we make things better for people in their everyday lives and show them without a doubt that we have their back, then they're not going to fall for it. But until we do that, until we give them something to believe in again, not just saying we're not Donald Trump, then maybe we'll win in 2028. But I
Yeah.
don't think we'll win in 2032. We're in this
Right.
endless cycle until we break the wheel. The way we break the
I
wheel is by
agree.
believing in people again.
I agree. And I think progressives have the ability to break that cycle, honestly. That's why we're doing this podcast because you're not compromised. You're in it for the right reasons. You're not owned by lobbyists or corporate PACs or foreign interests. And if, you know,
And if we save it, I'm giving YouTube full credit and Lance behind the
right,
camera. It's all you guys.
exactly. So sweet. But truly, I mean, progressive policies will benefit real Americans, those 85% living paycheck to paycheck. You just need an opportunity to prove that. I think once once the policies make their way to everyday Americans, if that could happen, right? If we have this progressive wave, Republicans don't stand a chance to win anything ever again.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah. And if I can be self-serving for a second, here's the
Hmm.
deal. It means so much that you platform us, the grassroots candidates. But there are a lot more people like me running for office than we have ever seen before in the history of elections in this United States, and
Yeah.
especially in the era since corporate PAC money has been allowed. We are all actively refusing it, knowing that some ways ties one hand behind our back. If you know progressive candidates, if you know people who refuse corporate money and the interest of special interest, please donate.
Hmm.
Donate a little bit, or if you can't donate, then volunteer. And if you can't volunteer, then just share our stuff online and help grow these things because people just want a fair shot in this country. But if we
Yeah.
keep electing the same type of politician and we don't get a new generation of leaders and a new class of politician, then things are just going to stay the same. That's why I want to address the dumb rules of politics. That's why I call myself a reformist, is because if we don't address those underlying issues, we're just going to get another Trump or another MAGA acolyte, and we are not going to be the party I think we can be. I want us to live up to our potential again, and we're just not going to do it if we keep thinking that the same political playbook is the one that's going to work. It won't, and it doesn't.